All right, another day, same old story, over
Yeah.
100 degrees, but
Yes.
it's August. We kind of expect it, right?
Absolutely. That's what we get this time of year. But now we're starting to at least see storm chances move into the state. And we had some rain.
And that means we got cooler temperatures on the way, right?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
We're going to break down the heat dome here a little bit eventually. But for now, most of us will see just kind of a picture that looks like this. And this is what it looks like really all across the state. Lots of sunshine, and the sunshine is just not really helping temperatures by any means, at least not in the way that we want it to. Now let's go to links 1, and we've already added more days of 100-degree plus temperatures. And today we're forecasting a high of 103. But this time in 2012, we ended up with a high of 113. So at least in comparison, it's not nearly as bad. But very early this morning, we'd have some rain and storms across Kansas, and some of this rain did make it into northwest Oklahoma. In fact, 0.06 up there at May Ranch, at least at that Mesonet site. So clearly not a whole lot of rain, but at least we're starting to see some changes start to take place. And thank goodness, because the drought, it's still there. We're now at 18% in the state, but especially there over Grant, Kay, and Osage County, we're still in that extreme category. Today, though, because we've got the drought that's going to continue to kind of increase, at least for the next several days, especially across the north, rain chances are there. They're just not all that great. Today, we're going to be watching for any hot spots, so looking for fires. And earlier, I was seeing several of those actually popping up in parts of Grant, Garfield, and Noble County. Kind of hard to see it at this point right now, but at least we're getting a good handle on those from what we were seeing earlier this morning. What we're not getting a handle on are these temperatures, at least not just yet. We do have that excessive heat warning basically along and east of I-35. The farther west you go, it's still going to be hot, but it will be a little less humid. This is our Norman regional camera, part of our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. Blue skies, 95 degrees. A wind out of the west-southwest at 14, wind gusts at 22, but with a dew point of 64, it does feel more like 97 degrees. Temperatures range from the low 90s to the upper 90s across the north, but 103 in Kingfisher. Lots of low 100s and upper 90s across the Red River. And again, the dew points are going to be a little bit higher just off to the east. That's why we have that excessive heat warning there. So upper 60s to low 70s. So after factoring that in, it feels anywhere between about 100 to as much as around, looks like 106 degrees there. That's the highest temperature that I'm currently seeing with that southwest wind between about 15 to 25 miles an hour. From time to time, we do get a gust a little closer to 30, especially west of I-35. But again, the ridge is basically just overhead, and we've got this boundary to the north, and that's where we're going to have those storm chances kind of hang out for at least the next few days. So not only this morning we had a couple of rain chances, but as we get into the next couple of nights, and especially later in the evening, there's still going to be a chance of rain and storms, but primarily across the Oklahoma and Kansas border. Now, as we get into the weekend, the storm chances start to increase a little bit more, especially across the north. And by Sunday afternoon, temperatures should be a little bit closer to normal. We're not talking cool by any means. Normal this time of year is about 94 degrees. So it's still going to be hot, but at least more tolerable. As we get into early next week, storm chances do increase across the rest of the state. That could help temperatures at least a little bit, and generally it does look like the heat dome will be shifting to the south and west, so that will allow temperatures to at least stay a little bit closer to normal, a lot better than what we have been experiencing. So today, looking for a high of about 103 degrees again this afternoon in Oklahoma City, but still looking at 108 in Ponca City, 105 in Stillwater, 103 this afternoon in Ada. For this evening, there's a pretty good chance we to get some rain and storms in the Panhandle again, and then overnight and into tomorrow morning, a chance of rain and storms across the northwest. Overnight, temperatures still holding on into the 70s, low 80s across the southeast. Tomorrow, temperatures dropping just a little bit. You can see that boundary is going to hang across the northwest, so 99 in Woodward, 100 in Alva, but 102 in Oklahoma City, and about 105 tomorrow afternoon in Durant. And then during the day and into the early evening, there will be a slight chance of rain and storms and be very isolated across the northwest. Tomorrow night into Saturday morning, those chances start to increase a little bit more across the Oklahoma and Kansas border. A slight chance anything does make it into Oklahoma City. And then during that time, there is going to be a low threat for severe storms across the northwest. Saturday afternoon, still 102 degrees, still very hot, but during the afternoon and evening, a chance of rain and storms across the north. By the time we get into next week, though, things are looking a little bit better. Rain and storm chances do increase, and temperatures go down a little bit. 90 degrees doesn't sound too bad at this point.
No, especially after this last week. I'd take 94. It sounds pretty good.
Absolutely.
What's the average this time of year? Is
94.
Oh, is it?
So
okay,
yes, so that'll be a little bit below normal.
Thanks, Cassie.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And still ahead, Dr. Lacey Anderson has tips on